everybody. I'm Connie Stewart with SimplySimpleStamping.com. Welcome to another Tuesday tip video. Hey, during the month of March 2021, I've been sharing my masterclass on punches. Lots of ideas for punches. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to teach you how to create this fun screen divider card, and we did it using label punches. I've got 3 different versions of the card to share with you, all using a little bit different label punch. I'm excited to share this really great card with you. Be sure to stay tuned to the end to see all 3 versions of the cards. All right, let's go get to creating. I think these screen divider cards are so awesome and beautiful. You see, it kind of stands up, makes a really great card that people can display. And you guys, I'm telling you, it's a really simple card and I think you're going to love it. And punches are how you're going to do it. So I'm going to create a different card for you today. And for that card, I'm going to use a piece of Mary Merlot cardstock. This cardstock is cut 5.5 by 11 inches. And let me tell you what your score lines are going to be. You're going to score at 2 3/4, 5.5, and 8 1/4. And that's what's going to give us that great accordion fold. Now, we got to decorate the inside, right? So let's talk about what you're going to need there. I'm going to use some designer series paper. I've got 3 pieces of designer series paper. These are all identical. They are cut 2.5 by 4.5. And by the way, the paper I'm using today is from the Fine Art Floral Designer Series paper pack. That is from your January through June 2021 mini catalog. Now, you're going to see some of my other cards, and I've used 4 pieces. So really, the number of pieces you want to use is going to be determined on the card that you make. Now, we're going to need to do some stamping. So I'm going to bring in some Very Vanilla cardstock. These are cut 2.5 by 4 1/4, and these are just going to layer right on top. All right, so we're going to use 2 that we're going to stamp and write our message on, and then we're going to do something really fancy with the cover. Okay, are you ready? Let's go ahead and get started with creating the actual screen card. So the screen cards are created with label punches. And guys, I'm very excited to tell you that most of our label punches are going to be able to work. So whichever one you have, you're probably going to be able to make this card easy peasy. So I'm going to use the everyday label punch for mine. And let's go ahead and fold our cardstock accordion style, okay? You're going to want to use your bone folder to give those a really nice, good crease. We want them to really stay nice and flat, but what we're going to do is we're going to fold 2 of these together, hold 2 of these together. I'm going to bring in my punch, and with those 2 pieces folded together, we're going to line it up here in the punch. Now, we don't want to go too high. We just really want to get a little edge. You're going to want to line up your cardstock from side to side inside your punch. So make sure that's as centered as you can. And when you go to punch, you really get to decide how far of an edge you want. So what I'm going to do with this one, I'm just going to barely clip the inside. You see we have like this little circle here. I'm just going to barely clip that. Of course, I want to make sure it's the same on both sides. Trust me, once you do the first one, I've got a trick for doing the next one. So let's get that lined up. I'm going to put this on my table so that I can punch through, because remember, I'm punching through 2 layers. There we go. So you can see I've got my little punched pieces right there. Now I'm going to fold again, and I'm going to use these as a guide. They're going to help guide me on where to punch the next ones. So you can see, you can just kind of line that up, just doing your best not to clip it. And we're going to punch again and give that one a punch. See, now we're sure that we're lined up. Now let me do this last one, and then we're going to be ready to get to stamping and creating. There we go. See how easy? Do you see? There's our screen. Yeah. Yes, it does stand up. So there we go. And now you can see why just about any label punch will do. In fact, in my other cards I'm going to share with you today, you're going to see some of the different label punches I used. I'm going to go a little extra fancy here. I hope you guys are good with that. I'm going to use my detailed trio punch, and we're going to create some corner rounds here on our screen. So I'm just going to tuck in the corner of my cardstock, push it in as far as it'll go. There's a guide that will kind of tell you exactly where to cut so that you get that nice rounded image. Now watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to fold it, And now I'm going to put those 2 pieces. And now let me show you. Do you see how it's giving me that nice corner round? Yeah, it's going to do that all the way. So let's do, I've got the next 2 folded. And there's another corner round. I think this just gives it a nice kind of an extra, just an extra detail. So now let's go ahead and do our stamping. So I'm going to set my screen off to the side. And now you're going to stamp however you want on those pieces of Very Vanilla. Of course, you might want to use Basic White depending on your designer series paper. And before you stamp, you're going to want to do another corner round, but just on the top. Just like that. We're going to do that to both of these. All right, and you can see I've already done the stamping for you. This is the Art Gallery stamp set, and so I have an I Miss You and I'm Thinking of You, which was I thought was just perfect right now. And by the way, do you see I adhered the stamped cardstock onto one of those pieces of designer series paper. And you know what we need to do? Yep, we need to corner round again. I want to make sure I've got my pattern going the right way. Let's see, about like that. And let's corner round again, just the top. You're going to do that to all 3 pieces. And I've already adhered that one, so let's adhere this next one. We'll just go right there. You know, I thought this card would be absolutely perfect for Mother's Day too. And so, yeah, just change your sentiments to a happy Mother's Day in your set. So we're going to leave this one alone. I'm going to go ahead and bring in my screen because I want to show you what I've done here. I used the copper foil sheets to die cut the words "just want to say." And I die cut that with the dies that go along with the art gallery. They're called the Floral Gallery dies. You can find those on page 34. And you can see you can order the stamp set and the dies together as a bundle. You save 10%. So yeah, you can see it says "just want to say." So I've die cut that, like I said, out of the copper foil, and I've added that to my front panel. So before you go and adhere your designer series paper down to your card, you want to make sure that your punch hasn't gone too high. So if you need to trim this down a little bit, not a problem. Feel free to go ahead and trim it. So I have adhesive here on the back of all of my dies because or not my dies, my designer series paper, because I've already measured and I know that I'm good and I'm not going to be hitting this area here. I'm going to add the blank one. Just let the designer series paper steal the show there. The I'm Thinking of You, this is where I'm going to write my message, and I'm going to put that on the 3rd panel. And that gorgeous floral that I stamped, I'm going to put that in the I Miss You. There we go. Just want to say I miss you. I'm thinking of you. I get to write my message. Now I want to top this off with a little bit of ribbon. And this is actually the ribbon that goes along with that fine art floral suite. So I'm just going to make myself a pretty knot. I think this ribbon is going to be absolutely gorgeous because it's got that vanilla color and then it's got that metallic built in. I'll press that right here onto a mini glue dot, and let's add that here at the top of our card. And there we go. There is my screen divider. You can see it's going to stand up great. And guys, did you know these are going to fit perfectly in our medium-sized envelopes? Yep, it is an A2 card. Voila. Now you can see it's a little short here. You might want to take a scrap piece of cardstock to firm up your envelope, if you will. So yeah, just a little scrap, 4.25 by 5.5, and you can see that's going to give your envelope the strength that it needs to go through the mail. So let me show you another card that I created. I thought this one came out so nice. I mentioned earlier I thought it'd make a great Mother's Day card, and that's exactly what I did here. I created a card for Mom, and I said, "Love you so very much." Now, what you might not know about this stamp set is it was actually kind of intended to be more for Valentine's Day. But nope, I think "Love You So Very Much" fits perfectly for Mother's Day as well. I used the Forever and Always stamp set, and I used the matching dies, so you can see that really great "Love You So Very Much." And do you see how it kind of hangs off the side of my screen? So when I mail it, yeah, I've got that nice little bit there. I did some stamping. I've got plenty of room to write my message. Really great card. Oh, let's talk about the punch that I used on this card. This one, I used the story label punch. I did the exact same thing. I told you most of our label punches are going to work great here. And I hope that you can see there's a very different look on the bottom of that card. Let me go ahead and bring in one more. So this is the card I shared with you at the beginning. Now this one I did a little bit different as well. I used the Label Me Lovely punch for my little labels or my little punches down here to create the stand of my screen. And I want you to notice I only have one area to write my message on this one. So I kept it very nice and simple. I did a little bit of stamping here. And yep, this one also has that little bit that's hanging there off the edge. And you notice that ornate garden designer series paper, I did 4. I went ahead and I filled the entire screen card with that designer series paper. And I love these little additions of the butterflies as well. I think that is another gorgeous card. Let me bring them all in one more time. There we go. I kind of have to hold them down because they want to kind of fly away. Yeah, guys, this is a really great, unique, fun way. Let's take those label punches and think outside the box and use them in a way that you may not have thought otherwise. Go create a screen divider card and send it to someone and cheer them up. And don't forget Mom on Mother's Day. I think it's a great Mother's Day card. Thank you guys so much for being here today. I sure appreciate you. If you enjoyed today's video, would you give me a thumbs up on YouTube? I always appreciate that. Remember, you can get all the supplies for today's cards and the measurements too. You can find that over at simplysimplestamping.com or look down in the YouTube description. It'll give you a direct link where you can find everything that you need so you can recreate the card. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Take a minute to subscribe if you're not currently a subscriber to my channel. We'd love to have you. Make it a great day, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.